카이로프랙터.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
1.7 million.
How did you scale that out to a seven-figure company? A lot of entrepreneurs, they'll have a great idea, they'll start that business, they really struggle to scale. What took you from making 6 to 7 figures at your business?
Well, the key to any business is if you give people what they want or need, and this is not my quote, give people what they want or need, you'll become successful. If you solve people's problems, you'll become wealthy.
Appreciate you, man. You got amazing advice. Thank you so much.
온라인 마케팅 사업가.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
Probably $4.3 million.
Do you come from a lot of money?
No, actually, no. My mom is a Trinidadian woman. My dad's American. I wouldn't say it was poverty, but it was tough. But that, we always put God first. And, with God, everything is possible. I've been able to learn a lot in business over the years, and now I have my own philosophies through experience that actually work.
You know they don't teach that in school, right?
They don't teach it at school, so we got to talk more.
What did you do to stand out against 99% of other people?
I have a personal brand, and I tell everyone I know, I don't care what your occupation is, you need to have a personal brand. Your personal brand drives your business. People buy into you, then they buy into whatever you sell. So regardless of whatever your network is called, I'm gonna get to know you, we're gonna connect, and then whatever else that you have, I'll support that. But I'm buying into you first. So that's number one. Number two, you cannot give up. Even if you don't get the ratings, you don't get the support you need, you gotta keep on going because you never know in that one moment where someone will see what you're doing and it just has a breakthrough.
People buy from people that they like.
They do.
You got amazing advice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate
You're amazing.
that. Thank you.
God bless.
재활용 사업가.
What was the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Enough.
Could you give me a range maybe?
A lot.
Did you have to borrow money from banks or take on
Man, I
investment?
borrow money from everywhere I can get. It
Yeah.
didn't matter what I had to do, and then you got to get creative and had customers put in capital, and I returned a certain way. I mean, look, man, I probably could have gone broke probably 4 times in the last 30 years, and you got to keep finding a way.
What was the best financial advice that you ever received throughout your career?
So I did a mistake. I went into recycling. I put the second largest recycling company in the United States. So one of my advisors was the chairman and CEO of Anheuser-Busch InBev, and he told me, Rick, why would I talk to number 2 when I could go talk to number 1? So if you're ever going to talk about something, tell me what you're the best at, not what you're second best at, right? Nobody cares. So what are you the best at?
Yeah. What's your name, sir?
Rick Perez.
Rick Press, James Newman. How old are you now?
I'm 51.
And how old were you when you became a billionaire?
기업가.
What was the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
2020, 16 million.
$16 million.
Yeah.
And what's the greatest lesson you've learned about entrepreneurship over these 14 years? Like, what's a lesson about business you'd give to somebody that doesn't have a great mentor right now?
Believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't.
Have you ever been broke before?
Oh yeah, we donated plasma for gas money. We actually did so for 14 years. We've been in business, but the first 5, it wasn't so good.
So what was that turning point towards financial freedom for you?
At the time, my wife was like, we were donating plasma, and she said, not with her face, but with her, well, not with her words, but with her face, she said that if I had the opportunity to do it all over again, I would not. Basically with her face, like I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. And I read into that, and so it took me up, it turned me up. Right. And then I had this daughter over here, and that changed the game for me.
What's the best financial advice that you ever got from a mentor? Like if there's a lesson about money that a mentor taught you that always kind of stuck with you, what's that advice you'd pass on to the younger generation?
Stay small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough. That means keep the expenses low whenever your money is high. Don't be in a rush to actually get the coloring in and all the jewelry and everything like that. I was making $30,000 a month with about $3,000 or $4,000 overhead. It wasn't until I had millions saved where I was forced to go from a Kia Optima to a Maserati. In that same year, that's when I bought this cash.
So you ran lean for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, 1 in 4 millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck in today's world. From your perspective, what keeps people broke in today's world?
Scrolling, watching other people live their life versus getting it after themselves.
And what was the deepest life quote that you've ever heard?
I'll see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded, but we never look down on anybody unless we're willing to help them up. But more importantly, understand this, believing that you can is way more profitable than believing that you can't.
You got amazing advice, sir.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that.
반드시 기억하세요. 1. 사람들의 문제를 해결해주는 사람이 되어라. 2. 퍼스널 브랜드를 만들어라. 3. 한 분야의 최고가 되기 위해 노력해라. 4. 할 수 있다고 믿는 것이 할 수 없다고 믿는 것보다 훨씬 수익성이 높다. 5. 남의 인생을 스크롤링하지 말고 내 인생을 살아라.